Alright everybody, it's time once again for another story. This one's going to be one from Finding Nemo called Ghost Light Fish. Here we go. Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Have a great day, Nemo, Marlin, the clownfish, said as he hugged his son goodbye. Marlin and Dory, a regal blue tangfish, were dropping Nemo off at school. "All right," Nemo exclaimed. "I will, just as soon as you let me go." Marlin realized he was still hugging his son. "All right," Marlin said as he chuckled. He let go. Nemo swung off to join the other students and their teacher, Mr. Ray. "Bye, Dad. Bye, Dory," the little clownfish called out. Nemo loved school. So did his friends. Tad, a long-nosed butterfly fish, Pearl the octopus, and Sheldon the seahorse. Every day, Mr. Ray took his students exploring all over the reef. That day, he was taking them to a clearing on the ocean floor. "Okay, explorers," Mr. Ray said when he arrived. "Now it's time to do a little searching on your own. Let's see if each of you can find a shell, then we'll identify them together." The youngest band called out. The youngsters fanned out. Nemo searched in the shadows of some coral. Pearl peeked into a bit of algae. Sheldon dug in the sand. Tad was the first of Nemo's friends to find some. "Hey guys," he cried, "look at this." Nemo, Pearl, and Sheldon swam over to their friend. They crowded around and shared in wonder and glee. A gleaming white shell Tad held in his fin. "Cool," Sheldon said. "It's so pretty," Pearl gushed. "Where did you find it?" Ted pointed at to the cave. "In there. Maybe there are more." Ted darted towards the cave entrance. "Yeah," Pearl said, following him. "I want to find one too." "Me too," Sheldon cried. "Are you coming, Nemo?" he asked his friend. "Nah, you guys go on," Nemo replied. He wanted to find a shell that was different from everybody else. Only a few minutes passed before Nemo heard an odd noise. He looked up and saw Sheldon, Tad, and Pearl bolting out of the cave at full speed, screaming loud. "What's the matter?" Nemo asked. "It's a barracuda, an eel." Sheldon shook his head. "No, worse," he said. "It's a ghost fish," Pearl stammered. Nemo laughed. "Yeah, right," he replied. Then he noticed that Tad's fin was empty. "Where's your shell?" he asked. Tad looked down. "Aw, shucks," he said, disappointed. "I was going to give that to my mom." He peered into the cave. it must have dropped it in there, but I'm not going back for it. Now with the ghost fish on the loose. Don't worry, Nemo told him. I'll find your shell. Little clownfish swam bravely into the cave. See, I said to himself, nothing to be afraid of. Suddenly Nemo froze. On the cave wall next to him was a huge fin-shaped shadow. Nemo took a deep breath. Excuse me, Mr. Ghostfish. Or is it Mrs. Ghostfish, he stammered. A ghostfish, a tiny voice said nervously. Where? Don't let it get me. The ghostfish didn't sound very scary. Nemo swam closer. Are you afraid of ghostfish, she asked. Yeah, the little voice squeaked. Who isn't? Nemo followed the voice. There, crawling behind a rock, was a little fish. Glowing soft with pale orange light. The ghost fish wasn't a ghost fish after all. It was just a glow-in-the-dark fish. The glow had shined on an oddly shaped piece of coral, made a spooky-looking shadow. Nemo's fears had forgotten. Oh, hi, he called out. Outside, Nemo rejoined his friend. Sorry I didn't find your shell, Nemo assaulted Tad, but I did find your ghost fish. Then Nemo and Eddie told the story. Before long, the ghost fish was forgotten. Instead, everyone wanted to know more about Eddie. Can you glow different colors? Pearl asked. How come the water doesn't put out your light? Ted asked. Nemo wanted to know what made Eddie glow. Good question, Mr. Ray replied. See these patches on either side of Eddie's jaw? Inside of them are tiny, tiny glow-in-the-dark organisms. When you see Eddie glow, you're really seeing those organisms glow. Everyone ooh and ah over Eddie's glowing patches. If you would think that's cool, Eddie said, you should meet the rest of my family. Eddie led the whole class into the cave and showed them the glow-in-the-dark world, including his family. Nemo thought it was one of the most beautiful things he had ever seen. But there was still one thing weighing on his mind. Mr. Ray, Nemo whispered to his teacher, I didn't finish the assignment. I didn't find a shell. Mr. Ray laughed. That's okay, Nemo, he replied. I'd say you still get an A for exploration for today. Alright, thank you, everybody. And if you're enjoying these stories and you're watching this and you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Also, ring that bell and that'll notify you anytime I put anything out. Also, if you're enjoying these stories, give me a thumbs up. So until we see each other again tomorrow, bye-bye.